monster trucks. This is Bigfoot. Gene Patterson is driving tonight. Jim Kramer is here, but Gene Patterson is behind the wheel.
Gene's been driving for quite some time. He's an excellent driver. Kramer's taking a little time off, letting some injuries heal up a little bit. Watch this young man when he attacks the cars. He does attack. Straight up in the air, and I mean over it in style. I thought, Bob Kurtz, that he had just about gone through the roof. Looked like he launched a blue missile. Straight up in the air when he hit the car.
Now we have a local radio station here in Hartford that has sponsored a contest to get some records crushed. Music that they did not care for, so the records are also in among all the debris. And Gene Patterson will make another run at them.
There's some of the records that some of the people were not too excited about. Gene Patterson doing in some of Connecticut's finest used automobiles. Let's hope they're used. Very tight arena, Bob. Not a lot of room to maneuver the trucks around, and they're having a little bit of difficulty getting them all lined up and getting any kind of a run at the cars. But watch this young man when he attacks. He's liable to go all the way over the cars. He got 4 of them, and he could very well fly the whole 4. Got all the safety equipment. He wears a kidney belt. He wears his neck brace, roll cage inside. Watch him. Watch him. Flies over the top of him, destroying the car straight up in the air. Outstanding job, but Bob Kurtz, he was so high when he hit those cars, it was unbelievable.
Many times as you see this show, you're always amazed at the awesome power of that vehicle when you actually are able to be here and see it in person.
Not only the power on it, but you know, they honestly beat this truck. They put it in every kind of test you can imagine, and watch him. It always comes off on top, just flying the colors high.
Smash and then way up in the air.
Look at that. Look how high it got before it landed, just barely catching the edge of that car. Gene taking a beating on the inside, but Gene's into it. He really enjoyed it.
Gary Bauer is the driver. Here's the Lone Ranger.
He's out of Ohio. It's a supercharged Ford on a little Ford Ranger. Each tire and wheel probably weighing over 1,200. But watch this young man. He's going after him. Look out. Flying off to the left-hand side. He almost turned it over, but immediately jumped on the throttle. Had to get out of that situation and get it back up on all 4s. A fine job of driving for that young man.
Almost lost it. That's how you recover those things?
You've got to stay on the throttle when they land. You've got to nail the throttle, make them pull themselves out of any kind of problem it would be in. Gary working it around. Now he'll come back to the cars going the other direction. He'll probably line up a little bit closer to the edge. He doesn't want them to get up there and let it drift over to the side like it did on the previous jump. Little Ford Ranger setting up atop those gigantic tires. Watch him. He's got all the speed. He's ready for it. Hits the cars and runs with them. And I believe he just, nope, jumped out of gear for a moment. That's all it did. Little backup wheelie. Thought Gary had broken a transmission when he landed, but it jumped out of gear. The transfer case must have jumped out of gear. There's a good shot of the planetary gears. That takes a load off the center portion of the axle.
Next is the Giant, Kurt Dabney, the driver.
Look at that! Look at that! He just really launched it when he hit the cars on the throttle hard. Dabney doing a great job, and when he hit the cars, and he's going to do backup, and there is, seems like some problems maybe with the front end, because when Bob Kurtz, when he hit that, the rear tires were spinning, but the front tires weren't spinning at all. He's just destroying them, but he's doing it all with rear wheel drive only. The front axle has snapped in 2, and he has no front wheel drive. He has no front wheel drive. He does an excellent job on the rear wheels only. Let's watch on this first pass and see when he hits the cars if he's hit the cars in four-wheel drive or does it in two. Hits the cars, nails the throttle real hard, all the way up in the air. The flash bulbs go off. Right there is when he snapped the front end on it and lost all of the front axle drive area. But he just had to do the rear wheels on two-wheel drive only. A good job for the Giant.
Mike, what have we here?
Bob Dirks, it's half tank and half truck. But watch it when it hits the cars. Never slows down. Runs a military tank setup, a supercharged Chevrolet in it. It's unbelievably maneuverable. Runs about 40 miles an hour. It's probably one of the quickest you've ever seen. And he actually just cuts the cars in two. Not only does he crush them, he can just honestly destroy them in that tank vehicle. It weighs 22,000 pounds. That's where you're getting the awesome destruction from Virginia Beach Beast. Donnie Kessel driving the Virginia Beach Beast, the big supercharged Chevrolet motor tucked back in the back of it, hooks to an automatic transmission and then goes into the tank drive line, and he not only drives over them, he drives through them. What a way to finish.
The Virginia Beach Beast in the foots of Bigfoot, and that's the show tonight here at the Hartford Civic Center.